Assalamu alaikum. Here we go. What's going on with you people? What's up, Tish? How you doing? Tristan. How you doing, Tristan? What's up with it, brother? Assalamu alaikum. We can't go to the beach no more, brother. Okay, all right, alhamdulillah. If you say so, bro. It's ironic because I just left there, so if I can't go to the beach no more, man, I don't know what to say, man. Because I do what I want to do. I don't know about nobody else, bro, but I go where I want to go and I do what I want to do, man. One thing for sure, two things for certain, man. If you get to a particular age, I don't think nobody want to go do 20 or 30 years, man, because if you thinking about doing something and gonna cause some type of fatality, you might as well just go on and just kiss your family goodbye, man, because you're going to jail. Period. What's up, T-Dog? How you doing, bro? And I'm not gonna be the one to send you to jail. Your own actions gonna be the one to send you to jail. What's going on, Hennessy? How you doing? Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, man, that it comes a time, man, when love don't make no sense. That's when the growth starts. You want to get away from any and everything, brother, that's gonna hinder you from taking that next level, bro, to reach a different plateau. Sometimes, man, it's something to make you sick at the stomach, and when you see it, you move away from it. What's going on, Tone? How you doing, brother? So that would that be, man. I've been working on it. It takes a long time, man. It don't take long, man, for you to eradicate that type of stuff, bro. Um, from that, you said, I wish all sets in LA would unite to come together. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm back at the pool. Yeah, bro. I wish they come together from too, right? It's a little night, bright. What's up, brother? How you doing, light bright? How you doing, brother? Yeah, man, it don't make no sense to genocide, brother. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy, man. I'm telling you, bro, if you dudes can go to jail and get along like the way they do up in there, bro, there's no way in the world, man, that stuff shouldn't transcend out here to the streets, bro. I don't get that, man. I don't get it. And these brothers be having all these type of particular opportunities. They start all these nonprofits and all that type of stuff, man. All you got to do is give the kids are the problem. Give them youngsters the jobs. Get them youngsters something to do so they won't be focused on all that unnecessary bullshit. Because that's all they trying to do. They get out there, they want to hustle, they want to get out the ghettos, they want to do certain things, but show them a different path. You ever caught big draws down fade? Nah, bro. Me and that dude was like road dogs on the streets, man. And one thing for sure, he wasn't scared of me, and I wasn't scared of him. I'm just gonna put it like that. And we both knew our capabilities, so I don't think neither one of us wanted to take it there, man, because it was gonna end bad. Right. That's right, Christian. So it's like it's easy, man. It's an easy formula, but I don't think dudes see it because once they get in these particular positions, they think it's all about them. But when you get in that position of leadership, it's not about you anymore. It's about the whole community. It's about how you can uplift the community and move them to a different space and change the narrative. What's up, Keith Thomas? What's going on, brother? Assalamu alaikum. So that's what that is, man. When dudes understand that, I think the better off people will be, man. But it's just like brothers just be selfish, man. It's a easy formula. What do you mean seal work? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, you two scam. Ain't no seal work. What are you talking about? I don't understand that question. You know, See, when I was in a penitentiary, man, I seen a lot of brothers in leadership position that never was supposed to be in leadership position, just because they was a quote unquote big homie, and these dudes was like dumb as rocks. These dudes couldn't even think past their face. So they used to be like sending dudes on missions, dudes that was going home, sending them on missions. The dudes that was lifers, they were just sitting there, sitting back and sending the kids on mission. Nah, bro. Yeah, I'm cool with yeah, bro. I'm cool with that, brother. Pretty boy, yeah, that's the brother, man. Um, these dudes, bro, instead of them dudes telling the youngsters that had freedom coming not to get in no trouble, their job is to go home and do this and this and this and that and take care of certain business. The lifers will tell the youngsters to go do stupid shit, and then 9 times out of 10, them youngsters up in there, they'll stay in there longer than they supposed to. They didn't safeguard that. But in my group, the Muslims, if you had a release date, you better not get in no trouble. You'll get disciplined for that. If we had a situation with a problem, the brothers that had the L's, even though all the brothers are home now, alhamdulillah, all the brothers at home that was up in there when I was in there, they're home now. The brothers took care of the business. The brothers with the L took care of the business, so the other brothers that had freedom coming can get to the stomping grounds before them. And then once the brothers get to the stomping ground, they establish themselves. We tell the brothers to be selfish at first when they get home, establish themselves, and then when they can reach out, then that's when they can reach out. I don't know, man. I don't know why that brother was pretending that. I don't know, Powerhouse. I told Kev that when he called me before he dropped the video. I talked to him and I told him exactly what happened. But sometimes, man, brothers don't want to, offend other brothers, man. But shit, man, you're not a buster because you ran. I'm telling you, bro, I should have ran too, but I didn't know what was going on. But it's like when I seen Black Dog, I knew Black Dog, so that's why I didn't run. So I was like, okay. He said me, So man, it's just that's what it is, man. Ronnie popped you. Remember me, Ronnie Pope. You remember me? I know Ronnie Polk. Yeah, I remember Ronnie Polk. Of course, I know who Ronnie Polk is. Come on, bro. We need to do a field review. I'll tell 600, bro. He's training right now. He got a fight coming up, man. We've been on him, man, about that fight, bro. Getting up in that ring, man. Not He training right now, Frank. He got a fight coming up, so I'm doing okay, bro. Alhamdulillah, I'm all is well, bro. I explained that out this morning. If you watch the video, I explained that. I know some of them skylines, bro. You know, I was in Donovan with a lot of them brothers. Them skylines. Yeah, I think Lil Feet man should ride it. But bro, I'm tell you, bro, if y'all think you think it's a lot of brothers, man, had this transformation. And Little Feet, he has this big transformation, bro, where he's doing pretty well right now. If you talk to him, he's very intelligent, man, very articulate. Um, he's doing very well, man. And it's like, man, it's unbelievable, man, how the brother came from one state to another state. So you got to understand, bro. Like when we all went to jail, we was real young, bro. You know, we didn't know no better. We was out there in them streets, man. We was doing stupid shit, and we got a stupid prize. What's up, Jay? How you doing, bro? So that's what happened. Oh man, they got into a situation. Tookie tried to tell Lil Feet to move on C-Dub, and Lil Feet wasn't taking no orders from nobody. At that particular time, Lil Feet was, he was who he was, and Lil Feet got off on Tookie because he felt that C-Dub didn't do no telling, or couldn't nobody tell him what to do, even though C-Dub did tell. But that's how that go. Them pill and touchy politics is different, man, and it's like you don't want nobody to touch your own, even though one of your brothers he's out of pocket. You don't want no. Yeah, my little bro got action, man. He got some serious action right now. I know, like in the next few days how much action he got, but he already got a court date. It's just we just waiting on everything just to drop. So he has action. Yeah, bro. MF ain't the word, bro, man. I don't know about now. I know when I was in there. When I was in there, it was totally different. See, now, from what my brother is telling me now, he's saying basically everybody in there now, like everybody on drugs, bro. He said, man, Danny, everybody. He said, like, dudes don't work out. Uh, where's Thundercat? Yeah, it's dry, man. That girl, she just one girl just left. The same girl, she just left. Um, I don't know, bro. I don't even know that brother, bro. So I don't know. I don't know what's he like that. You got to ask somebody in his generation, man, on who that brother was. His name is not Cowboy. His name is Thundercat. Who was the '60s biggest enemies on the East Side? Nobody. I'm telling you, bro, man. When we was, see, I only can speak on from when I was out there with that, bro. Our focus was the gangsters. Sometimes we got into it with even not even the Hoovers that much. It's just I think we one time, a couple of times, like 2 times, we really got into it with the Hoovers, and we didn't really get into it with the families, man. It was more so the gangsters, man, and the V&Gs right over there. We really wasn't even tripping off them. It was more so it was just a hatred for the eight trades, and they would had a hatred towards us. So we was like focused on each other. We wasn't really too much focused on other individuals like that, bro. You may run and go somewhere and run to do some other sets and stuff like that, and dude might have a problem with you or the group or something like that. And then if it go up from there, go up from there. But other than that, we wasn't out there, going miles and miles away, man, trying to or section to section to try to have wars with different individuals. You got to understand, bro. Like a lot of people that come from certain sections, they have a geographical area where they don't go past certain stuff. They just be right there in a certain area. Yeah, that would have been dope, but they would still been tight, man, because you got joints from both sides. If the '60s and the gangsters never would have got, you never that would have been huge. Sauce and Bruce passed, bro. And my little brother ain't going nowhere near that, bro. You can rest assured he ain't going no. If I'm not over there, he's not going over there. He ain't stupid. You know, he don't need to go back over there no more. Yeah, I met Fatty. Yeah, I know who Fatty is. I met him, bro. Um, Bruce died, man. I think a few months ago, bro. Yeah, I know Fatty Daddy. Yeah, my brother ain't going back over there. Hey, Frank, man. My brother gonna be out here. He gonna be pussy whooped when he get out here. So I know he's a tender dick. So he ain't gonna even go nowhere near no that mess over there. Hey, bro. See, I don't know why people. Hey, Tristan, I don't know why people ask me that question, because it's a question that nobody can answer, bro. Me and Carmack is cool, bro. That's the brother. Yeah, I know that. I don't know why them brothers, man. It's that's a subject, man. It's man. That's a tone. That's a long book, bro. It's like, man, if I expound on that, man, them niggas probably start. Them niggas probably, man. That's something, man. That's just something, man. I'm not even gonna speak on, bro. What's up with Big Blue Bone? I don't know him, bro. I don't know no Blue Bone. You know that stuff right there, bro. That's an open book, man. But it's always a root and an origin behind some bullshit, you know. And I know the origin of the bullshit. So I think if that would have been taken care of, everything would have been said, been done. Nah, brother, I ain't never been to a Tristan. I ain't never been to no set day, bro, ever in my life. See, when I left, they didn't have that. I left in '91. I got out in 2008. So they didn't have that when I got locked up. And then when I came home, bro, I already had my transformation was on some other stuff. So I never been a part of that. You know, to this very day, I don't go to no functions. I talk to some of them brothers over the phone. If some of them brothers want to come see me and they come in come in my area and stuff like that, I was close to both of them. To both of them, brother. If the '60s and the gangsters didn't have beef, the Bloods would have. I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, the Bloods probably would have had it hard, man. Yeah, because I think the Crips was more so focused on, the generation before me was more focused on the Inglewood families and stuff like that. Because they used to go to Centinela Park and just take that park over, from my understanding. You know, so, and you got to understand, man. You can't discredit the Bloods, bro, because the Bloods came up in my era, brother. If you was a Blood, you was with the business, because you wasn't a punk, because you was outnumbered tremendously. So you had to have some particular type of heart, running around there. Nah, bro, I don't need to pull up on none of that stuff, bro. Yeah, Lil Feet was real fearless, bro. He was. Him and Big Feet, but Big Feet was like that too, though, bro. Both of them. This big psycho. Which psycho? I was close with Lil Mom. I don't. I haven't. I ain't never. I'm gonna tell you who I never met out that era over there. I never met Mom. I never met Motor Mouse, and I never met who was that? Mel Rock. Them three brothers I never met, man. Um, when I was locked up, them the only three that I never ran into. I heard about them. We know about each other, but I never met them brothers, man. You know, from my understanding, they good brothers. Alhamdulillah. But I never met them brothers. I think Mom and them was on the lower route. Slep Rock, yeah, Slep Rock was real solid, man. Slep Rock was one of them dudes, bro, that everybody gravitate to inside that section over there, bro. Of course, real solid brother. You talking about Big Slep, right? Leonard. I don't know no Big Psycho Myers. Nah, bro. You from Overkills or Overheels? What are you talking about, bro? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know Space Ghost. Who don't know? See, Space Ghost stayed right there on the block with us. I'm under J Stone, bro. J Stone was one of the first dudes I met around there, man. J Stone made it like was one of the first individuals that I'm from the third generation. J Stone and them is from that second generation. Uh, Keita Rock is from the second generation. Keita Rock and them, they are old. They came around before me, and J Stone was one of them brothers, man, that always made sure that we didn't get messed over when I came around there. It's Big Cass. What are you talking about? What's Big Cass? The one that's rest in peace? Nah, man, I ain't never had no fight with Space Ghost, bro. Get out of here. The hundreds. I don't know no pretty boy too. No, pretty boy is like pretty boy is out that first generation or the second generation. One of the two, bro. I know he was around. You got to understand, brother. I don't know where Gorilla Blue is at. You got to understand, man, that the first generation, the second generation, it grew so fast. They came about like in months. If you ever listen to like Big Keystone, and like on Kid Mac videos, and he'll break that down to you. He was like, because it was them Keystone them, Big Rick them, and then like months later, like Doe Eyes and all them dudes came around, and then like like a few years later, then we started coming around. Like 82, 83, 84, stuff like that. But my generation, we the ones that took that neighborhood to a different level because of the drug era, the automatic weapons, uh, the more so we was more out, we was thicker, we was deeper, we had numbers. So we was out there, on some bull crap to the point where we gave that section, its rep. Oh man, the Harlems, they were just the Harlems, bro. They wasn't finna be coming no neighborhoods, man. They was just Harlems, bro. They see the Harlems back then, bro. They got along with everybody. Every Crip set along. They didn't care where you was from. They didn't care you was from '60s, Hoovers, gangsters, or none of that stuff. Sometimes we'll go over there, and there'll be some Hoovers over there. Sometimes we'll go over there in their neighborhood, there'll be some gangsters over there. So, the Harlems was a neutral like type set. I don't know what they are now, but I know when I was growing around, coming up, they was like neutral, and they didn't get into with hardly no Crips at all, bro. They beef was with the 20s, the Bloods, the Rolling 20 Bloods over there on their particular side of town. Which white apartments you talking about? Oh man, the Hoovers are the Hoover. I don't. Man, the Hoovers do what they want to do. Man, they was criminals before I even went to jail. So hey, yeah, Big Rick's still around, bro. I don't think Big Rick. See, Big Rick is not. He don't get on camera. I think he got on camera like one time, but other than that, Big Rick is out here living, bro, doing his thing. I don't know. I think the Pyrus are the biggest blood set, bro. Not the 20s, but the 20s probably was one of the downest blood sets because they was around, when in that era over there. Yeah, I know Cadillac Bob. Yep. I don't know what happened to Kelly. I think Kelly Bobby died, bro. From my understanding, I'll find out. No, I never had a fight with no eight trays in the county. I ain't never had no fight with no eight trays. No, let me take that back. I had a fight before I even was from 60s. I was in LP, and Spooky got into it with some gangsters, and I helped them. They would try to jump on Spooky, and I helped them. But I wasn't even from over there at that particular time. I was staying in Carson, and I still helped him because they was trying to, they was trying to pack him out. Yeah, Big Rick ain't finna get on no camera. You have more fights in prison or in the street. I had like, let me see, in the prison I had like, I wouldn't call them fight. Yeah, I know cartoon. Um, in the prison I had like, let me see, one, two, three, like four in prison. On the streets was more. I had more fight. Me and Lil Looney used to get jumped all the time. Me and Lil Looney used to be by ourselves in my mother's red truck, and we used to go somewhere, and me and him, Lil Looney be acting a damn fool. He be talking shit with me and Lil Baby, be jumping me and Lil Looney every left and right. But we stayed down though. But you know how that go. So I think they are cool with the lanes right now, bro. It's different now. You know what I'm saying? It's like dudes have different dudes have different things going on. Just like the Bloods are, I mean, the gangsters are cool with the families and stuff like that. So it's different now, bro. Yeah, I know Little Frog, bro. Yep. Yeah, I know a lot of them brothers, man. I know a lot of brothers, man. If you put it like this, bro, if you was a factor in your section, or you was a joint, or you was a down individual in your section, you didn't have to. Your reputation precedes itself. Dudes gonna know who you are, irregardless. Man, I could do way more than three pull-ups, man. Are you crazy? Can I do? Can three pull-ups, man? Get up out of here, man. I'll run you in the dirt, man, on that stuff. Pull-ups, burpees, push-ups, whatever, man. I'll run you in the dirt in that stuff, man. And I'm probably older than you. Nah, I wasn't there, bro. My little brother was there. The monster the one shot my little brother the one got shot in the ass at that street race. I wasn't there. I didn't go to that one. I didn't want to go to that one. He said, "Let's get on program time." Was you locked up where with He Man? No, I wasn't locked up with He Man, bro. I know He Man though from the streets. Yeah, bro. They used to dominate World on Wheels. That's a fact. For sure, that's a fact. They used to dominate World on Wheels. We used to dominate a lot, brother. Like we go somewhere and like we say for instance we go somewhere, we were running to the Five Deuce Hoover at a Uncle Jam's Army. We'd even trip off the Five Deuce Hoovers or something like that. Um, we'd just go somewhere and we'd be so deep, man. Dudes didn't want no problems, man. But we wasn't, we was like I said, bro. If it wasn't the gangsters too much, we wasn't on no go time like that. What's up, baby? What's going on? Yeah, Big Rick got a lot of history. Hey, you know what, Nat Turner? Big Rick gave me my first lesson in the penitentiary on like the politics, on not to trip on other blacks up in there from other sections and stuff like that. Because I was like 18 when I went up in there, and he was like, "Man, you can't do X, Y, and Z," and I seen how close he was with some of the gangsters up in there, and it gave me a different outlook on how to look at different individuals, man, irregardless of what side you on. It made you think, look differently, and it made you act differently because once you get up in there, basically you become brothers, man, so to speak. Nah, the schoolyards, they not. I don't know. I don't know about. I know when I was growing up, they wasn't gangsters. They might have been. They might have been gangsters, but I know they were just SYCs. You know, when I was growing up, I don't know about the G part. I don't know, Pee Wee. I got to find that out, man. I heard something like that, but I know for sure. I'm gonna tap in with one of the brothers tonight, and I know probably tomorrow about that right there. You know, you gotta understand, man. Big U was a big boy back then, man. Big U was big. He was heavy. He was big. Legs big. Hips big. You know, and he was just, and he knew that arts, like, to a bit. So if he had like if he had like basically the advantage over you, you didn't know what you was doing, and you was just trying to street fight him and Slim. They'll whoop you because they'll just wait on you to do some stupid shit, But all of us knew how to. I think it's the same, Trishan. I think because all of us took classes. So if you know how to fight, and like dudes will swing on you, and if dudes don't know what they doing, you gonna have the upper hand. You're gonna be able to whoop them. And a lot of brothers from the section, I grew up like that, taking classes. So they grew up taking classes as well. So I think that's why we had the upper hand on a lot of people. Yeah, me and Big U the same generation, bro. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat pork. I barely eat chicken, man. I'm not vegan, man. I eat some fish or something like that, vegetables and all that stuff, bro. Um, I try to stay away from a lot of sugars and stuff like that, bro. Uh, I just don't eat a whole lot of bullshit. I eat like once a day, you know. So, and I work out. Sometimes I do 2 a days. Like I'll do like 6 or 8 miles a day, depending on how I feel. If I get bored, like say for instance, if I get off here, I'll go I'll walk, run like 3 miles, and then I'll go walk another 3 miles, and I'll just call it a day like that. Hey, Pee Wee, I can't give you. I tell every time somebody asks me that, bro, I cannot tell nobody, bro, because I be doing discredit, a lot of brothers over there, man, because everybody knew how to fight, bro. Ain't no top five squabblers. Ain't no top five squabblers from nowhere, bro, because you know how to fight, bro. You know how to fight, bro. Yeah, I was one before Big U, yeah, for sure. See, Big U was an AG boy. They was AG boys. They was hustlers, and rightful so. I think a lot of us should have just stayed hustlers. Yeah, Tristan, I heard about that. Yeah, that did happen. It's a lot of stuff, but you see one thing about Toon, bro. Toon, even in the penitentiary, Toon was with the business, man. He was always on go time, and he represent what he represent, bro. If you look at his demeanor, his character, he represent that, bro. He live and breathe that. So that's where he's at in his space. That's probably MT. Right. So that's just what that is, man. You gotta give credit when credit's due, man. And then I'm telling you, bro, when you're a member and any member tell you he ain't never lost no squabble, like he's lying. Because somewhere along the line, bro, you gonna get put on your pockets if it just you get jumped or whatever it may be. Something, yeah, you gonna get put on your pockets, bro. If you're the member, because you gonna get caught slipping somewhere, and you gonna get taken advantage of, you know. So that's just what that is, man. Dudes take losses. If you a brawler, you gonna take a loss somewhere. Sugar free in the pen. I know. I don't know. I don't. I didn't know sugar free. Gangsters from Tanner said he remembers sugar free, but did you know of him in the pen? Nope. He probably was in the feds. I think Gangster was in the feds. No, I don't remember him on MT. I don't know why why you deflect my content, my comment. What are you talking about, Light Bright? What do you want to know, Light Bright? Hey, Tristan, I don't know. I don't mean if they never lost no squabble, bro. I don't know. They must ain't ran across the right individuals. What are you talking about, Light Bright? What do you want to know, bro? Let me go back and see. 'Cause I don't know what you're talking about, man. You're gonna have to type it again, bro. Yeah, I know China Man, bro. From 11 Deuce. Yeah. Yeah, he was an Arlington Hustler first, bro. Yeah, of course. See, one thing about history, bro, um, you never want to put yourself or take away from the history, man. You want to put yourself right where you at in history, man. That don't make you less than a man or bigger than nobody else. Yeah, that's right. That's right, bro. You got that right. Like Bright, I never do. If you just go look at my video today, bro, I explained all that. I don't know what do you want else you want me to do? You want me to repeat myself? Yeah, different level and different yards, right? The lower level you go, bro, the softer the yard is. Yeah, bro. If you out there squabbling, bro, you call yourself a squabbler. Or you call yourself an individual that you gonna get out there, man. You gonna get somebody gonna whoop you. You might have a bad day. Your hand might be hurting. You might be, laying back. You might underestimate your opponent, and things of that nature. But you can get touched up, man. Because one hit, man, you hit somebody in the bridge and in the bridge of their nose, or you gonna go straight down, man. For sure, you ain't gonna be able to see. Stay active on YouTube, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna be over here more than I'm on that other channel. I'm gonna start dropping all the content over here. They I don't know what they doing over there in that other channel. I think somebody reported my channel. I don't know what the hell they got going on. I guess people didn't like me talking about certain things or certain situations. Um, what happened, how dude's character was, how dudes put dudes on pedestals, on fake ass idols. Dudes be looking up to and all that shit, man. But you know, uh, I tell dudes in a minute, man. I beat my drum for my little bro because he got backdoored. Now, like I said, if I knew that he had anything or even an inkling around that type of situation, I wouldn't be saying nothing. But hey, I'm gonna beat it until he's free. And we waiting on him to get up out of here. He got more action now. So, I think everything's starting to work out for the better, man. Even though he was displaced from society that long. But I told him this morning, he called this morning, I was like, bro, if you can come out here and see how many of these dudes is telling, man, it'll blow your mind, man. He was like, well, I was like, bro, these dudes is not going to jail for nobody no more out here, bro. And I said, all them dudes in our generation, them dudes working like a mug, man. They working overtime. They working with the police and everything. They don't care, bro, because it's like it's the norm now. Telling is okay now. It's all right. Oh man, I ain't heard from Lil. Last time I seen Lil Vamp was in the county, bro. I don't know where Lil Vamp. Lil Vamp was from the Valley. I remember Lil Vamp. He was from the Valley at first. Nah, bro, they not built from prison. I don't think no. And to be honest with you, bro, I don't think none of us was built for prison. To be honest with you, bro, we just survived it because you had to be mentally strong up in there. But that prison is designed to break you, regardless of how strong you are. You know, I didn't seen, hey, bro, I didn't seen the strongest, hardest dudes, bro, go up in there, man, and go straight crazy. They be on Thorazine, all type of pills. They go EOP. Man, man, it be crazy. You knocked out Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, bro, you see a lot of brothers, man, a lot of reputable individuals, bro. They'll lose it up in there, man. I'm talking about, man, it's sad, bro. I was out, bro. What year was that, Nat Turner? I think I was out for that. It depends on Nat Turner. What year, do you know what year that was? I believe I was out. It was in the 2000, right? The mid 2000 or the late 2000. Was it 2000? Oh yeah, baby E, man. Come on, man. See, dudes don't understand, man. A real gangster, a real hustler, a real dude, man. You know, he's gonna change his life, man, for his family, especially if you got kids. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, brother. You don't want to leave your kids out here for another man to raise them, and then you don't never know how they're gonna turn out to be. I was just fortunate, you know, blessed that my kids' mothers. Um, I think I was out for that though in that tournament. My kid's mother, they safeguarded my kids away from all that foolishness. Cause my son, he's a straight up square, bro. I'm talking about the totally opposite of me when I was, man. And then when I talk to him, he be asking me certain questions about that gang shit, and he just look at me and say, man, that shit is stupid. Cause he's like 33 now, so he be like, that shit's stupid. And then my daughter, I didn't have to worry about her, getting knocked up, but that happened anyway. Before I came home, when I came home, like 3 days after I came home, my daughter had my grandson. I didn't know she was pregnant until she was like 9 months. They were scared to tell me. I was like, how y'all scared to tell me she pregnant? Man, that's stupid. That don't make no sense. But that was her and her mother thing. But hey, but I'm telling you, man, it's like when you out here, bro, and you understand that, being a real dude is taking care of your family and taking care of your responsibilities. That what makes you a real dude, man. All that shit trying to be hard and getting a reputation in the hood, that ain't gonna get you nothing, man. You can't even go to the bank and cash that shit in. You can't do nothing with no reputation. What the reputation gonna get you? It may get you a book. It may get you a movie deal. It may put you in a position, man, where you can get to the bag, but 9 times out of 10, it's only gonna be a few dudes that do that. Man, a lot of people join gangs out of ignorance, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: the majority of the '60s, we had our mothers and fathers, bro. That's right, Rabbit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, man. That's all. That's just what that was. It was like a fad. You know how when it comes around when something, everybody want to join something, become a fad. Everybody want to be a part of it and stuff like that. Dudes just was like want to be a part. That was the thing going on. Gang banging and being a crip or being a blood. It was just a fad, man. But we didn't know the difficulties and dangers ahead of us. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. If them older dudes would have ever told us how that pen was, I don't think I would have ever went, bro. I would have been scared of that, straight up. I'd been like, man, I don't want to be a part of that. But what they were doing with us, man, they were like, oh man, you gonna get swole when you go to the pen, you go to the county, you gonna do this, you gonna do that, you gonna go to the pen, get swole, you gonna get a rep. Man, fuck that shit. That shit is trash. Man, they was glorifying that shit, man. And then now you have brothers that are my age now, they coming up out of there. They really telling dudes, man, hey man, you don't want to go up in that joint, man. We telling dudes like, man, you don't want to go up in there, dude. You go up in there, you're gonna be miserable up in that joint, man. You're gonna be doing like you're gonna be sitting around there, you're gonna be walking the track, dude, for 20 years. Right, that's right now. That's right now, turn right. Right. So, dude, that's what I like about the brothers coming out now, man, because they trying to tell them youngsters, man. They be like, hey, dude, you don't want to do that, man. I'm telling you, you don't want to do that, man. And they giving them kids like Buck Rogers Day, man. They giving dudes like 100 years, 200 years. Who can do 100 years, man? Who can do 200 years? Can't nobody do none of that stuff, man. That's too much time. Yeah, man. I met Nip. They didn't know who I was when I. It was funny how when I met Nip, man, they didn't know who I was when I walked into the store because I was in over there on Crenshaw and Slauson, and I was on my way to Kansas City and I was going to buy some hoodies for these kids. Uh, I was just shopping, bro, and they was over there all in the corner doing whatever they was doing, and then one of the brothers from my era walked in and he seen me and he looked over there at me, and he looked at them and he went over there with that. They were like, man, y'all don't know who that is over there? And they was like, nah. And he told them who I was. And they was like, you bullshit. And the brother came over there and talked to me, man. And the brother was talking. And the only thing he asked me about Big U. Because he heard about what happened. Brothers here what went on with me and the brother, but they didn't know in detail what went on. They'll know his side, but they never had got my side. So I broke it all down to the brother, man. And I just told the brother, I said, man, you just be careful, man, how you proceed with certain individuals around here, man. And I always told him, man, I said, man, you get to the point, man, you need to leave from around there, because once you get to a point and elevate, you start getting to the bag and you start being famous and stuff like that. Certain dudes around you, they may act like they cool with you, but they still gonna be jealous a little bit. You know, oh, that nigga ain't doing nothing for me. Oh, who that nigga think he is? That nigga think he bigger than the set. And shit, stupid shit like that, man. So when you get to a different level, any brother that's like that, man, in order for you to be successful, you got to get on, man. You can still have the shop or whatever your business is. You can still give back to the community. I don't know, Keith Thomas. I don't know. I hope so. I think everybody's seen. I heard. Hey, Tristan, I think everybody heard that. Hey, Nat Turner, that comes because them dudes get into it with each other, man. It's like jealousy, man. The brother 4X had motion going on, man, and like I said, it's unfortunate that that happened to him, man. He lit that damn fire thing inside. He lit that thing inside the car. And that shit blew up inside the car. That's why they got hurt. That's why the other boy got hurt like that. His face got hurt like that, bro. And I could just imagine how that. I could just, if you can visualize some shit like that, it's like gruesome, And then when you're dealing with that, his homie, man, they was getting into it, man. So it's like, man, dudes be wishing, when something bad happens to somebody, man, dudes be wishing death on you, man. That's crazy. Kid Mac, Huster Collection, DMV. No, I haven't seen that, bro. Yep, that's right, Jason. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, yep, yep. The '60s was tight with the East Coast. Yep, for sure. Yeah, it was tight with them brothers, man. Right, bro. That's right, Travis. Come on, man. Ain't nobody got time for that shit, man. Hey, bro, let me tell y'all something, man. Um, I watched a brother in Calipatria lose his life. He was 2 weeks to the house. We got into it with the white boys, right? And this dude, he was from Fresno. He was from Fresno Bulldog or something like that. He was a Crip out of Fresno. And I think Fresno Hoover. I don't know what he was, but he was from up north. So we telling him to stay in the cell. We going to chow and we telling him to stay in the cell. We gonna bring you something back to eat. This dude. Um, I don't need to go there, bro. So what happened was, man, he came out, bro, being a dummy. White boys got a hold to him. I'm knowing this white boy name was Marty. Straight dope fiend, straight I'm cold dope fiend up in there. That fool Marty came outside, lit him up, lit the brother up, hit him a couple times right there in the chest, and got him in the heart, right? So they put us on lockdown, bro, and we was on lockdown for so long. Dudes was like, they didn't have no food, no packages. They was starving us up in that joint. But me and the brothers, we was okay, man, because I was like getting like 2 and 3, 4 packages at a time. My family was taking care of me, so and plus I had like a couple of females, and I was sending packages to brothers' names, so we was okay for a certain extent. And then they started letting the yard up slowly by little. So the Muslims, we was all critical workers. So I was working in the kitchen. So when we was going to work, I'm grabbing all the iron, I'm busting down everything that's metal up in there I can get a hold to, and I'm bringing it back and giving it to the brothers. So what they did was, man, they was finna bring us up, and the Crips was like, fuck that shit, man. We need to go to the store. We need to go to the canteen. We ain't got no food, man. That dude wasn't from LA anyway, and all this type. So they was making excuses not to get back at, for with the revenge the brother's death. So us, man, the Muslims. It was me. It was the Muslims. It was a decent Al-Qaeda line them, and two of the brothers in 4 Block. It was Crazy Poke from 5 Deuce. I'm gonna give Crazy Poke that. It was Bonnie Hunter Sneed in 3 Block, and it was some Muslims in 2 Block, in 1 Block. Man, they let them white boys out to the shower, and they was coming from somewhere else, and the brothers was on the tier in 4 Block. This was already pre-planned. We told the Crazy Poke and Bonnie Hunter C, if y'all hear the alarm go off in 4 Block, y'all know it's on. Man, the brothers got on them white boys, man. Man, they served them white boys up, man. There was so much blood. I ain't seen so much blood in the day room in my life. And then next to the alarm went off, and then you see Crazy Poke got off over there. Crazy Poke got off over there where he was at. Laid the white boys out over there. Bonnie Hunter Sneed laid the white boys out, and it was like a chain reaction. Man, bro, them niggas was so mad at the Muslims. They was so mad at the Muslims, bro, man. They was mad as I'm talking about, man. I ain't seen so much venom in my life, bro. Cause they took all the brothers to the hole, and I was left behind. All the brothers that had release dates, we was all left behind, and they all coming to my cell, man. Why y'all do that, man? I was like, man, get the fuck away from my cell, man. Y'all was gonna sit there and let that brother death go unheard. I was like, man, y'all forget, bro. We Muslims and we black, brother. We not finna talk. We don't give a shit where you from. You don't do one of ours like that and think it's gonna be cool and y'all get away with that. Yeah, I'm gonna break that down, Tristan. So it was just like, man, that was just something, man, that a lot of brothers should need to experience, man, because when you up in there, bro, I don't care where you from. I don't care if you from Timbuktu. You black, you black. I don't care if you're a non-affiliate, you're black. So that's how it's supposed to go, man. And even out here, bro, I seen some stuff, man, last night, man. I think the brother Quest got killed over there. They had a candlelight visual for him and stuff like that. And I seen the police come over there, man. And the police came over there. They was trying to flex their muscle and all that type of stuff, man. I seen one brother, man. I seen little AD stand up to them people, man. And that was it, and that's all, man. I didn't see nobody else stand up to them dudes, man. You know. Yeah, I'm not from the nation. I'm in Arshari though, but but the nation, they'll get cracking too, bro. I got one of my best friends. He's from the nation, so it's it's like, man, we'll see a different entity, and we won't stand up for our own people. But say for instance, if that was some gang members came over there or something like that, tripping over there at that candlelight video, they would be ready to kill everybody. Police come over there, they ain't finna do shit. Man, I don't know why. I mean, that's crazy, man. I don't get that, man. That's why, bro. It's like when you profess to be the hardest Negro in the United States ghettos, and you scared of one entity, man. That says a lot about you, man. That speak volumes. You know, you'll pray on your own, but you won't pray on the ones that are oppressing you. So man, you know how that go, man. So, look, I don't want to get too deep off into nothing like that, man, because sometimes people don't understand that type of about the particular type of concept, because and I'm not saying all of them dudes are bad, all of them cops are bad, but that's just what it is, though, bro, man. Because it's like they have it's like they have a license to kill, and when they kill you, they'll say oops, or they'll put a gun by your body or something like that. You know how it is, bro. I remember Sinbad, man. I remember Sinbad up in the module, when they got into it with the five trays. I was there when they got into it with the five trays. Like a couple of times they got into it with the five trays, and I was right there. I was a trustee up in there, so one time they got into it with them dudes, and Crazy D them for five trade got into it with the dudes in the day room, and they was hollering out the day room thing, and I had to get the gate open. I didn't know what the hell was going on up in there. I just heard and got the gate open for them, and they came flying up out of there, and they slammed they slammed Crazy D, slammed the door. Crazy D was telling me, he was like, man, they had fucked up niggas. Man, I'm telling you, man, this stuff be crazy, bro. I'm telling you, man, if you can survive certain things in life, just the craziness, that goes on and all the drama, man, it's you push the line on the bowling, they turned you in. If you could see just the craziness, it'll make you not want to be around that stuff no more. Man, hey, bro, people are gonna turn, bro. You have informants, bro, everywhere, right? Nobody out today. You got this one on. What she at? Let me show y'all her. She's out. She ain't working with too much of nothing, man. She, she's out, but it was Ben time to be a suburban dude, bro. What do you mean? I used to go over there in the early '90s. That's a youngster. Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot. I think F Bone Brothers is the blood over there out the jungles. It's always I got a lot of Damu family members too, bro. A lot of them. Some is out the 20s. Son from Fruit Town, Paru. I got a lot of family members that's Damus. It's the cold part about it is, bro. We be at the family reunion or we get together. You can have family gatherings because we have it like every year, like all different times of the year. It's crazy, man, how we just sit back, man. We all know where we was used to be from, or some the bloods are still banging. But we'll sit there, bro. But we always be like, man, somebody touch somebody in the family, we gonna show them, what our family can do. It's crazy, man, how you got brothers from different sides, and their family members. But when it comes down to something dealing with the family, they gonna all come together, man, and tear your butt up. What's going on, New York? How you doing? New York Links. So that be the beautiful thing, man, about just being standing on principles or standing for something that right. No, I didn't never do no time with Scatterbrain, but I know Scatterbrain, brother. Like I know Scatterbrain. That's the homie. Scatterbrain used to be around that neighborhood terrorizing people. All right, brothers, man. I'm finna get out of here, man. I'm finna go work out a little bit, man. You guys be safe. Always good to have y'all around. Assalamu alaikum.